What's up, nerds? Scott, I don't know if you're live, but I started the theme song and then Scott's like, wait, and I couldn't stop it. So
Yeah, I'm good. I'm here.
Okay. What's going on, everybody? Scott, how are you? We got a lot of good news today. We got news for you. We got news for me. We're going to talk about...
Yeah, it's been a good news week.
It has been a good news week. We're going to finish our 2000s and 2010s greatest game character of all time. By the end of this episode, we'll have the final four, and then next week we'll go into our final round of our video game March Madness. But first and foremost, welcome to Cool Nerd Show. And if you haven't already, you can go join the Discord, Cool Nerd Nation. You can find it in our descriptions, all that. And then also you can follow us on Twitch, on YouTube, everything like that. If you're watching, our channels are below. Twitch.tv/Tresner, Twitch.tv/ThickFlare4Cs. You can also search us on YouTube. And we're also on podcasts everywhere. Please give us a review so we pop up on your friends' podcasts also.
Imagine if somebody had found us by some miraculous miracle and didn't know how to do any of that stuff. Like, what are the odds?
I mean,
like I found this random podcast on a Tuesday night on Twitch, and I don't know how to follow people on social media.
Yeah, I mean, it does happen. Haven't you ever just gone into like a podcast like service and just searched?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, if you know where to look for podcasts, I'm sure you know how to do all of that.
Yeah, that's
following and stuff.
Yeah, but we have to mention
someone sliced Stallone's out of cryo sleep, and it's just like, what's
we're
a
trying
podcast?
to drill it into people's heads. So we have a lot of news this week. Not a lot, but we have a lot of awesome news this week, and we have some game news. We have some superhero news, as always. I mean, I think that's really it. That's really all we talk about on this show. So
yeah, I was gonna say two of our two topics.
Yeah. What's up, Devin? Devin's in the chat. And then after that, we'll give an update. I mean, we can give an update now, actually, on our video game fantasy draft.
Is it even an update? You have like half your games out already.
Half my games are almost out. For those who aren't aware, Scott and I had a video game fantasy draft earlier in the year, and we drafted 12 games each. And it's going to be based on whatever games are released. We're going to take a look at the Metacritic score and then total up our scores. And then whoever has the highest score at the end wins. I have 4 games that are released, 2 games that are releasing this week. So half of my games will be released this week, and none of Scott's games have released yet. So I am taking the early lead. Right now I have a total of 419.
By Friday, we'll know the
We'll know half my score.
Steve just resubbed. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it.
We'll know half my score by Friday. Well, give it like another week because sometimes the reviews come in a little late. But
you'll know your max potential score.
I don't know about that. I could hit it out of the park with my back half.
That's what I'm saying. You'll know the max. If you have 5 out, 1 in 2023, so that's a 0. And then you have 3 other ones.
Although it's probably not going to be.
So then you could just tack 300 onto whatever you have at the end of the week, and then that's the max you can get.
That's true. Well, we'll see.
Oh, shit. I got an Amazon Prime sub. That is very loud. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You can watch Scott's stream on we said this already, but twitch.tv/ThickFlare4Cs. Ghostwire Tokyo comes out this week, and reviews have already started to drop. And I have, right now, the PC review score is an 81.
Well, it's 7 reviewers. Also, the Twitch Prime sub I just got, my buddy from TikTok and Twitch, Lord Longcock with a K-A-Q. Just a great name, all around.
Nice.
But yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo, I think it might be lower than an 81.
I think
it's all said and done.
When more PC games, come out, it'll be there. Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins doesn't have a PC score because only 2 PC reviewers have reviewed it yet. So I'm putting the PS5 score in here, and it's a 72. So
what's the protocol there if it doesn't
I
register?
say we just go with whatever platform has the highest amount of
Of
scores.
course you do.
I mean, if we're going by the average score of PC, it would be higher because I think it's like I think it would be like a 75 or something. So I'm actually this benefits you because it's 72. There's no way it should get a 0 because the game comes out. It's not my fault that PC people aren't PC reviewing the game.
I don't know. You picked a game that's not PC reviewable. My cat just wants to be up here today. Jesus. Okay, Miles, you
But
can
Tunic
stay.
came out, and I'll probably play it eventually. And that
I
got an
started
85.
it.
That looks good. Yeah, is it good?
It's fun.
And then
I
Tiny
just
Tina's comes out this week also, which I
yeah.
probably won't play because I don't really play Borderlands. But as long as it reviews good, that's all I
I'm playing it. Steve and I are playing it on stream. I think Thursday or Friday, whenever it comes out.
with
My job
that.
gave me $100 gift card for busy season, so
Oh, nice.
Tiny Tina's was on them. So if it sucks, I'm not out of money.
There you go. With that, let's get into the news. Our topic, our number one news topic.
Read it verbatim. Read it verbatim.
I'll read exactly what Scott put in the show docs, all caps. New Witcher game. Dot dot dot. OMG, a new Witcher game. Scott, how excited are you for this?
Hold on. How excited am I? Give me a sec. Come, watch out, Miles. Come on, I got to do a bit. Hold.
For our audio listeners, Scott's getting up and he's walking off stream, and I don't know where he went. He's leaving. He's gonna come back all dressed up as Geralt, I'm assuming. Still waiting on him. Still waiting on him. Oh, here he is, and yeah,
Give me a
he's
story now. Hold on.
not only is Scott dressed up as Geralt with the wig,
I got one Geralt.
but now he's
I got two. I got a Geralt and a Leshen. Hold on. I got another Geralt.
How many Geralts do you have?
That's 3, and then I got the book. Okay, we can continue the story now.
Okay. So, Scott, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, why not?
Since you're more Devin, season 2 of The Witcher already happened. We're gonna get a season 3.
I have like the Snooki poof, but if Geralt was
Yeah.
like a Jersey Shore girl, you see that the wig hasn't held up.
Geralt Shore.
I mean, I'd watch it. 4 Geralts for 4 Witcher 4.
So this is a new. It's not Witcher 4 though, right? It's a side.
It's a saga. It's a new saga. I have theories.
Okay.
I will read the press release. I can't hear myself with these. Okay.
Probably
So it
'cause
says
you have
rapid.
wig hair in your headphones.
Probably. I hope somebody randomly joins. I'm caressing Geralt toys. It says we're happy to announce the next installment of the Witcher series of video games currently in development, kicking off a new saga of the franchise. This is an exciting moment as we're moving from the Red Engine to Unreal 5, beginning a multi-year strategic partnership with Epic Games.
Great move.
It covers, yes, 100%. I'll get into that. It covers not only licensing but technical development of Unreal 5, as well as potential future versions of Unreal when relevant. We'll closely elaborate with Epic Games, with the primary goal of being able to tailor the engine for open world experiences. At this time, no further details about the release date and development cycle. But fantastic news for them because I'm gonna put these down.
Now I'm gonna say something because I like to bring up. I don't want to be a negative Nancy here.
Yeah, well, go for it.
But I've seen this story before, and this story is called Mass Effect Andromeda.
Just like moving away from the
main series.
The
Something
main series?
completely, not completely different, but something different. Same kind of universe. What do you think about that?
I have a tiny sword. It might not be a new universe.
So
So
you're not going to be Geralt, right?
no, but the teaser image. This wig's going too. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I'm keeping the tiny sword though. Uh, so I don't know if you saw the press release.
I didn't
I have it
really
on
read
the.
it. I saw the teaser image.
Okay, so the teaser image is on the reaction cam if you want to see it.
Sweet.
But so that looks like, at first glance, it looks like a cat. So the school of the cat. Siri does have a cat medallion in
Okay.
The Witcher 3. So people are like, you could play Siri. I don't think so. Because this doesn't really look like the cat medallion in the game. And these ears point up too much at the top. They got these little extra pointy bits.
Mhm.
And the face is a little smaller, and you got these like little pointy jowl things at the bottom. It looks like it could just be a new Witcher school.
Okay.
Yeah. Lord said it's an Egyptian hound. I think it might be a lynx. Either way, I think it's just a new Witcher school, which might mean you just create your own Witcher.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So I can see
I
with
mean,
what they did.
that would make sense, right?
Yeah, because honestly, for me personally, I'm going back to Facecam. Um, for me personally, nothing, no one would top Geralt. I would love to play Ciri. I would love to see where her story goes, but the ending of Witcher 3, I know you haven't played it yet. I'm not going to spoil it.
Mhm.
Is variable. There's multiple endings, and it's all dependent on some major decisions you make in the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know
As
how.
most
I mean,
RPGs do.
yeah. So like, if you do Ciri, there's going to have to be, I think, too much branchingness with how the game goes, because like you'd start completely different places, or maybe not at all. Uh, all depending on the ending. Um, I think it just makes more sense to start this new trilogy where you could be your own Witcher. And I think like it's the narcissist in me, but it's like the only person that's going to be able to top Geralt is a Witcher version of myself, which I have. I've honestly, obviously thought about. I have the wig, um, but I think it makes sense to make your own Witcher. The shift to Unreal 5 I think is an overall good thing, because since 2011, when Witcher 2 came out, they've been using Red Engine, which is their own proprietary engine. But with every game, they've had to kind of like build the road
Yeah.
as the car was actively moving down the road. So they would have to like adjust, because like Witcher 2 was kind of like a compartmentalized open world, where like it would be big openish areas, and then if you wanted to go to the next area, you'd have to like hit the loading wall and then go in. And the Witcher 3 was a sprawling open world with the only loading screen being like a cutscene, or if you fast travel. And then they had to reinvent it again for Cyberpunk to make like uh, driving simulations, and like act like, because from Witcher you could go like a while without seeing people, so it's not like you have to have like so much AI. Where in Cyberpunk it was like a city and it has to be populated, and you have to have first person shooter mechanics, and the cops have to chase you, and all this other stuff that I think that the Red Engine was just like, I don't know how to
So
do that, and then they.
it is the same engine for Cyberpunk and Witcher 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So
I think
moving
it
to
makes
Unreal
sense to
5,
move
they
to Unreal
just
5.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just, that road's there. They just have to work. Oh, Whole Yeet followed me. That's a great name, by the way. I appreciate it. But yeah, I think moving to the Red Engine, or moving to the Unreal 5, I've seen Unreal 5 tech demos and it looks insane. Absolutely insane. So I can only imagine like sticking a Witcher in those tech demos,
Yeah.
and like, come on, like, if you thought I was bad with the Cyberpunk hype, come, you block me now. Don't even follow me on Twitter. Take my Twitter off of the bottom here. Don't follow me. I'm gonna be just insufferable.
So yeah, I mean, this seems like a good time to maybe start my Witcher playthrough, because then by the time that this new game comes out in 4 years, I'll be done with The Witcher 1.
I honestly think that should be your next playthrough.
Oh, RPGs are so long. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Eventually, I will play it. I might play it on my own, and maybe I'll just review it on my own.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, The Witcher 1 and 2 aren't incredibly long.
they're I think two is pretty. I go to howlongtobeat.com, and look up how long games are before I decide what I'm going to play next. And I
Also,
know
combat's
that
a
they're
bit
pretty
janky. Throw it on easy. It'll
just breeze through
take
it.
the game time down,
That's true.
and it'll give you less of a headache.
So from your favorite game to one of my favorite games.
Wait, it takes 51 hours to beat on in 2? Are you talking
Yeah.
about both endings though?
Hold
There's
on.
two
Hold on,
stories.
hold on. Let me see. Let's see how long to beat says.
Because I think I beat the one side of the story and it wasn't.
If you're doing just the main story, which I normally don't do, it takes 24 hours to beat The Witcher 2. It takes 34 hours main plus extras, which will probably be kind of where I fit in, and then 54 hours as a completionist.
Okay, because there is a point in The Witcher 2 where it splits into two separate acts, and then you'd have to go back to the save point and choose the other option,
Mm-hmm.
and then to get a whole nother like second act. So it's like at the
The
end of Act 1, you make a decision, you have a branching option for Act 2, and then Act 3 meets back in the middle,
The
and then
Witcher
you
1 is actually longer than The Witcher 2. It takes 35 and a half hours to beat the main story straight through. It takes 46 main plus extras, 64 and a half completionist.
oh well, there you go. Never mind.
And then The Witcher 3, which I know is just long as shit. 51
With DLC,
hours main story, 103 main plus extras, 172 completionist.
is that with DLC?
This is just The Witcher. This is not DLC. Just
Man,
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
I beat Witcher 3 Wild Hunt in 70-ish, and then
Okay.
DLC.
Yeah,
The
so
DLC was
so you did some extras. So yeah.
yeah, and then damn 172 to 100% that. What? But that's like you collecting
That's
all the
like
Gwent cards
everything.
and
Yeah.
do it. Like, I don't play Gwent. I don't do the horse races. I don't do the fight. I don't
Yeah,
do like the
exactly.
boxing.
Devin said I
Um,
would love Yakuza, but hate how long it is. I don't know. Yakuza has never appealed to me. I feel like I always saw it as like just the I guess like a Japanese version of GTA, which I guess could be cool. And I don't know if I could be completely wrong on that. I just never really got into it.
Dev, sorry, I played one of the Yakuzas you suggested, and I got like maybe maybe 30 minutes in, and I was like,
Because it's
ah,
not
it's
GTA at
not
all.
not for me. But maybe
Um,
because it was just janky and it was on Xbox. Uh, that like Xbox Game Pass, and those games may not run right on PC.
Speaking of not running right on people, well, we can get into this when I'm talking about what we're playing, but I guess we'll get into
Yeah.
that then. Uh,
But
so,
also, before we leave the Witcher topic,
yep.
Blood and Wine is better. Is the DLC for it? It's better than like 99% of the games I've played.
Really?
So as itself, it could have been a Witcher 4. It was like 40 hours of
That's a
like,
long DLC. Jesus.
and that's not completionist. That's just like running
Just
through and
playing through it.
playing through it. Also, Hearts of Stone is probably like maybe like 25 if you like really like take your time with it.
So
That's the
you're
other
looking at
DLC.
like close to like a 300-hour game if you want to do completionist all the way through Witcher
Yeah,
3.
yeah. But you get your fucking money's worth. You get the
Yeah,
Game
that's
of the
true.
Year edition for like $15 and you have like half a year.
I have all three of them in my Steam library. Which is
Lord,
kind of sick.
I'm gonna make a controversial. Oh, you won't get it, Steve, but Lord, in my chat will. I'm a Shawnee fan, so during during the main quest, I'm a man whore. I will go Yen and Triss. But DLC, I'm a Shawnee man. It's
Romance. Is that what this
another
is?
romance. Yeah, she's like a
So
nurse, battlefield nurse, and
heal you back
you
to
know,
health. Yeah.
yeah, she's a delight.
From one of Scott's favorite game franchises to one of my favorite games franchises, although this isn't exactly the same franchise, but Mass Effect's co-creator Casey Hudson, he directed the original trilogy. Uh, his new studio is working on an all-new science fiction universe that just got announced, and I'm surprised this hasn't gotten a lot more news because I think it just came out today. Yeah, it did. It says Casey Hudson, the co-creator and director of the Mass Effect trilogy, looks to once again be returning to space as his new studio, Humanoid Studios, has confirmed it is working on an all-new science fiction universe. The news comes via Humanoid Studios' updated website, where it states that our current project is a multi-platform AAA game focusing on character-driven narrative in an all-new science fiction universe. And then it goes on and on and on. So there are actually 4 images that were also released with it.
Oh, I
Very,
didn't know that.
yeah,
You want to drop it in Discord? I'll throw it up on the reaction screen.
yeah, that works. We can take a look at them. Dropping it in general. So
Um,
yeah, I don't know. It looks. I mean, he looks like his studio is not huge. I think it said we believe in the power of small, agile teams and a flat organizational structure where everyone is empowered to make decisions and help drive the project vision. Uh, we hire great people, empower them with the best tools and a supportive environment, and provide them with creative freedom to explore their fullest potential. So we'll see. It's a Canadian company with offices in British Columbia and Alberta.
it is up on the reaction screen whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'll switch over to that.
So your journey begins. We got a couple of science fiction space stories today.
Mm-hmm.
Your journey begins. Don't mind the Kirby ad,
Looks like
unless Nintendo wants to.
some
This looks
astronauts there.
very similar to the Starfield stuff
It
that came
does,
out.
and I'm sure it's extremely early, and we probably won't get anything
Oh
from
yeah,
this for
yeah.
another few years. Um,
I'm going back to face cam.
Sounds good. And anyone who knows Casey Hudson, he left he got like promoted after Mass Effect 3. I think he was he was going to be the producer on Andromeda, and then he left mid development of Andromeda to create his own studio, and now they're finally like announcing something. So I'm sure this has been in the works, and I mean, if it's anything as good as Mass Effect, like I'm excited, but it's still like too early to get really excited about it.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think it'll be good. So
I'm all aboard for more sprawling space stuff. Like I can't. Like space was a genre of game that suffered from the technology of the time. Like
oh yeah,
space is such a vast topic that like having it on a PS3 just didn't really do it. But I think we're at the point now where it's like you can get like really really good like a plate like a sandbox of just being like cool fucking space stuff.
and
Which
people,
that's why I'm
yeah, like studios have tried with stuff like No Man's Sky. Although I've heard that it's gotten better, but I know when it
yeah,
initially came out, it was like it kind of fumbled a bit.
yeah.
But you need those games to kind of come out to push the needle and everything.
Yeah, it's
So
got to crawl so other games can
yeah,
walk and then other
exactly.
games can run.
And I'm a big like science fiction person. Like that's my genre. So I'm excited.
We might as well talk about the Starfield story now
Yeah,
while
well,
we're on the
I think
topic.
that's a good segue. So Starfield did have a dev sit down video. I know that that Scott is very excited about
Yeah,
Starfield. I am too, but I'm gonna wait for gameplay. Which, by the way, I have. I'm not. I don't know how much I can say, but I do know someone who works over there. I have an in there. Rumor is that the game is playable, currently playable. Um, but we haven't seen any gameplay yet. So they're probably still working out the
they do
bugs and
their
stuff like
they
that.
do their
But
gameplay reveals like the summer before their games come out. So like June ish. I
yes,
think we'll see something.
but the rumor
But yeah,
is
but
the game is fully playable. So that's great news.
they had a lot of good stuff to say. Like I've fallen victim to overhyping. Shocker. But I'm trying to keep my hype like down, but everything that comes about this game, it's like pushing the lid off of it. I'm just like, no, stay down. But they sat down, they said a lot of good things that appealed to me. Like they're going back to their hardcore RPG roots from like Morrowind and Oblivion days. They're doing like the branching dialogue system where you can kind of like manipulate people with that like dialogue mini game that they had in Oblivion, and that you much like Cyberpunk, they have the like starting area that you pick dictates the like future of your character. Like you can literally do the same corpo start where like if you pick the corporation starting point, you're like a low level guy, and then you can choose to take them down from the inside. you can join the bad guys and like take down the like government and all this other stuff. There's like all the cool concept art that comes out about like the fishing, the whole fishing planet looks really cool. It's like a sea mining planet where it's all ocean and the only places you can walk are these like big, they look like the
Docks.
Gungan city,
Okay,
but above water almost.
that's pretty cool.
And like I
I
just want to
go
I want
ahead.
to see if you're just able to like travel to planets and like how it works and like if you go from planet to planet and how big each planet is, if like each planet's like the size of its own open world kind of thing, and then you just jet off and go to another place and like they showed a robot companion it with like a little bit of gameplay, which was cool. Not a little bit. He just like moved and he's like, "Hi, I'm a robot," or whatever his fucking name is. And but it's just like I'm like I have a tug of war here. Like I just want to get real hyped. I don't want to get burned again.
I mean, to be
But
fair, Mass Effect Andromeda kind of did that same thing. It just the execution of it was very poorly done.
I
But they
think at
had
its
like big
worst,
open world maps of each
Bethesda is not as
world.
bad as
BioWare.
whatever EA BioWare. Like Bethesda can do all the wrong, and Fallout 76 was ass, and Fallout 4 wasn't as good as 3, and they kind of started losing their way. But I think they're all the stuff they're saying is self-aware, which they hadn't before. And I think on its worst day, Bethesda's a better studio and a better company than an
Yeah, 100%.
EA-driven BioWare.
I think I do like what they said, how where like what you pick as your job or whatever is like where you're starting. So not everyone's going to start in the same area. Like you might
Yeah.
start on a different planet than me. Like I think
Yeah.
that's pretty cool, and I don't really think that that's been done as of yet, at least to my knowledge.
Yeah. And like it really seems like the 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 story they want told is the one that you create because they're like they were saying that they took a lot of inspiration from the no hand holding that a lot of games have been doing, like Breath of the Wild and stuff
Mhm.
like that, where it's like go on an adventure. We have stuff for you to do everywhere. Just go on an adventure. And that sounds so cool to me. Like just go get lost in space.
Yeah,
And I'm about that. I just want to know how the combat's going to go. I'm assuming it's gun related.
I would assume so. Yeah, it has
I
to be.
hope they I hope they get rid of VATS. They don't have some kind of VATS system. Space
Yeah,
VATS.
yeah. I think VAS is kind of a thing of the past. I don't think that really works that well
Also, they're using
anymore.
photogrammetry to scan in people like they did with their environments.
Okay.
So you're going to get more photorealistic faces. You could see it in the developer sit down that like they scanned people in and like the mouths and they don't have janky Bethesda face. You also saw it. They showed a little bit of Elder Scrolls 6 development because you know the Elder Scrolls grandma, she's like 89 or
Yeah,
something, and she
yeah.
just plays Skyrim. They put her in Elder Scrolls 6,
That's
so
amazing.
that they stand there. There's footage of them scanning her in, and you see her 3D model, and it's like really good. So they're doing that with Starfield as well. So it's like again, a lot of stuff is
Yeah.
making me hyped. Yeah, that was great in 3, but 4 it was not great.
So
It's like
yeah,
go for it.
I don't know for four was four was weird. I
Yeah,
enjoyed four, but I think three was just a much tighter game.
yeah,
Fallout we're talking about for people who don't
yeah.
know. And then I didn't play 76, and I probably never will.
Yep, same. I think I
Um,
played a beta.
we can go to I guess the last video game story, and then we'll go into like superhero
Video
related stuff.
yes,
So,
compare.
Hogwarts Legacy got a state of play. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm not gonna play it. I am not a Harry Potter person. I'm not. I sorry. I'm breaking Scott's heart.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, you like what you like, man.
I don't really care for fantasy. I don't care for Harry Potter. I mean, from what I did see, it looks cool, but I didn't even watch the whole thing. I was just like, it looks cool, and then I kind of like went about my business, did my own thing. So Scott, I'll let you take this one then, and you can talk about
There's
it.
just there's just a lot of cool shit you could do. It's like they just made a master list of like what do nerds want to do in a Harry Potter game? So it's like you're a fifth year and you start late, so you kind of have to like that's how they get you to like be familiar with all of the aspects of the game. It's like you need accelerated curriculum. So like you learn, but you go to like your potions class, you go to your defense against the dark arts class, and like they show the potion making. You actually can like make the potion if you want to. It's not just like a list
Mhm.
that you have. Like I don't know if you know about it in the books and the movies. The room of requirement. It only shows it's a room in Hogwarts that only shows itself to somebody who needs it. And like
Okay.
when you go in there, the game senses what you need. So like if you need a specific item, it'll just make it for you. So it's like you can go out and farm it if you want, but it's like you go to the room of requirement and you click it and it's like, okay, it'll be ready in like 10 minutes. And you could go off on your merry way, do something and come back and then get your reagents. Um, you could also like open up a menagerie and you could save magical beasts out in the world and then come put them back into your menagerie and take care of them. And then it's like
Almost
a
like Pokemon.
sim. Yeah, it's kind of like a sim Pokemon game because like while you're in your menagerie, you can build like structures to take care of the animals and like there's a whole simulation game within the game that I'm really fucking jazzed about because I love me some animals. I wish I worked at a zoo. I would be much happier. And it's just like it. There's a lot of cool little stuff that like you just explore Hogwarts and it's like that's something really cool. Like I've been to the theme parks and stuff. You're in Hogwarts, but you're in a line next to the smelly family from like West Virginia and like I remember I was behind a guy who wore like fuzzy slippers
Oh
to
God.
the park and like every step he took it was like foot BO just would like puff up. So it's like it kind of kills the immersion of being in Hogwarts. It's like, oh, we're in Hogwarts, and there's somebody with an Annie Ann's pretzel. It's like it's not as immersive as you'd like it to be.
Yeah.
So it's like I just want to walk around Hogwarts, and it looks dope. I cannot wait, and it's supposedly coming out this holiday.
It's yes, because that is on your video game
Yes,
draft
I drafted
list,
that.
and it's I mean, we haven't really gotten like a Harry Potter game like this ever. Really, I know wasn't there like a Quidditch game
No,
and
yeah,
maybe a
there was
few
like
other
a
games here and there that
the
tie
game
into
for
the
the GameCube.
movies,
It was fun though.
but nothing like this in terms of like where if you look at something like say Star Wars, where there's like a ton of different Star Wars games that you can play, like with Battlefront and with Fallen Order and stuff like that. So I think it does have the fan base, and it definitely, I think it could work.
Also, Lord was saying that the butterbeer is great at the theme parks. I also agree. Um,
I've heard that you've told me that.
Yeah. Pro tip. I consider myself a pro because I go very often. You get a shot of fire whiskey in one of the bars, and you get a butterbeer, a frozen butterbeer, and you drop the fire whiskey in the butterbeer. You mix it up. It's delicious. You could also do that with the pumpkin juice.
Good to know for when I go.
Little drunk hack there for you.
We'll get into the actual movie news now. We have we got like three stories kind of. We'll start off with Wayne T. Carr, who was revealed to be the Jon Stewart Green Lantern.
Yes, sir.
Had his cameo cut from the Snyder Cut. Also, I saw today that Ryan Reynolds was initially supposed to be in it as Hal Jordan.
Yep.
Listen, I said this like years and years and years ago when DC.
He was not a bad Hal Jordan.
Yeah, that's not where I'm going with this.
He wasn't. The movie was bad though.
Years and years ago, when they started building out their DCU with Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, like you had a Green Lantern movie. It wasn't very good, but just use the character. That way you don't have to explain whatever. Just use them. Like you don't have to fucking make another origin story, whatever. I actually didn't think that movie did that bad of a job of explaining the Lantern Corps. I just think the plot overall was kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then I mean, I've also said this. They should have just really tried for Bale as Batman. And I'm kind of glad they didn't. But
it wouldn't have worked.
It would have worked. They could
not
have
a
brought him
shot.
back. They could
have. Bane beat the fucking shit out of Bale, and you expect him to go up against Steppenwolf? Absolutely
hear
not.
me out, because we have an older Batman in BVS, right? Bale wasn't super old. He could have gone away. It would have made a lot more sense to the story of him, like the Bat's dead and him coming back, and we haven't seen Batman in so long. And
imagine Christian Bale versus Superman.
hold on. I'm just
that man would turn into fucking.
Hear me out before you give me your input here. Had they done that, had they brought him back, it would have made a lot more sense in the story. Had they just brought in more sense? I just explained it. How it would make more sense.
It doesn't make any more sense
because you have the whole like the bat is dead, all that shit, and that is more powerful when we've seen him already. You would have gotten more people to go to accept it, I feel like, as a movie. But that being aside, whatever. They have the characters ready. The point I'm trying to make is they have the characters ready. They should have just used them instead of trying to build out their franchise. That's what I thought. And this, when I saw the Ryan Reynolds thing, I was like, yeah, he should have just stayed there because I said this years and years ago when the DCU was first coming out. And now, who knows if it's going to come back. I don't know.
Well, I have a tinfoil hat theory if you want to go to the reaction screen.
Oh, God.
That is Wayne T. Carr's Jon Stewart looks fucking dope. That's just an objective fact. That is a cool Green Lantern. He's got the hexagonal patterns on his suit, much like the boom tubes looked in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I mean, he looks better than fucking Ryan Reynolds did in his animated suit.
So, a while back, I forgot who had said something about Batman not going down on somebody or something.
Oh, that was the DC. Wasn't that the it was like the WB execs. They said Batman doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Which is a load of horse shit.
Zack Snyder he commissioned a piece of art of Batman going down on Catwoman, and he just posted it, and he said canon. And
that happened a while ago, I thought.
Yeah. And they copyright striked it immediately.
Okay. Yeah.
Like WB does. WB copyright strikes everything. This only circled around Twitter because somebody at a fan screening got a picture of it because Zach was showing it to the crowd.
Okay.
And somebody took a picture from their phone of his phone and zoomed in, and it was like, enhance. And, Wayne T. Carr just dropped this on the first year anniversary. Out of nowhere. And he said, give the fans what they want. WB did not copyright strike it, and it's been out.
It's different, though. That's way different. It is. Because
it's their image. They own it.
Yes, but it's not fucking Wayne T. Carr going down on someone. It's not a lewd image. That's why they
copyright strike everything. Everything.
Oh, I know. I remember when we used to do the reviews on years ago on YouTube, and we'd always get copyright.
So something that they cut out of a movie they cut this out of the movie because they said they had a Green Lantern show already.
I think you got to take your tinfoil hat off. I think you're thinking about it too hard.
No. Think about it this way. Why would they cut him out of the movie at all? They said, we already have a Green Lantern. You can't use him. It's going to be too confusing to the general audience.
So put fucking Martian Manhunter in there? That makes no fucking sense.
No. The fact that there's just this Green Lantern for this specific cameo.
Oh, and you're using Hal for something else.
And you're using another Green Lantern somewhere down the line. They have a Green Lantern show on HBO Max or whatever. Who knows? They said they said the same thing for New Gods. That's why they quote unquote canceled New Gods, because Zach used Darkseid, and it would be too confusing for the general public if there was two Darkseids. So if it was too confusing back then, why is it not too confusing now? Just saying.
I think you're thinking about it too much. That's what I think. But
yeah, you thought I was thinking about it too much during the Snyder Cut.
I did. Yeah, you're right. I mean, prove me wrong. I'm going back to the live scene.
Okay.
Oh, prove me wrong, WB. I'll see it. I mean, I'll be happy if they bring everything back, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. Moving away from the DCU, let's move towards.
The Lord just said the new Batman was mid, which I haven't seen it yet. But everything I've seen about it, it just looks mid.
Yeah, and that's what we've been talking about this for the past couple weeks. That's how I feel about it too.
I saw a gif of him like jumping through a window and tackling somebody, and it just looked really bad. Like every fight scene I've seen about this movie looks so bad. It just
looks like the Nolan verse part 2.
Yeah, but like just okay.
Yeah, Yeah.
without the
I'm sure
without
it's
Heath Ledger.
fine. I'll watch it when
Yeah,
it comes on
yeah,
stream. I'm not excited to see it.
yeah. I feel like that's what it's gonna be. Like that was fun. All right,
Yeah.
moving on.
Moving away from the DCEU, let's move towards the MCU, where we have. Well, this isn't necessarily MCU, I guess. Maybe. Morbius apparently cut Michael Keaton's Vulture scenes.
Yeah, so
I
like
didn't
he
see this
had
story. I just saw it because you put it in here.
yeah, he had like a bunch of scenes in the movie and they cut out a couple of them and then they just like plopped like watered down versions of it into the end credit scene. That's what a lot of people who've screened the movie are saying.
Oh, really?
Like
So
he's just
he's
not in it
only in there
anymore.
as the end credit scene.
Yeah,
Okay.
which I don't know why.
It doesn't. I mean, I'm sure Marvel's weird with their like Sony partnership, and they don't want to give them like direct um control of like their universe, which is kind of why they like, well, Venom can be in it, but not really. Like how he like came into the universe and like zapped
This is a
away.
Sony thing. This is just the Sony thing.
But that's what I'm
'Cause
saying. Like,
Vulture was Sony and Morbius
uh
is Sony. So
yeah,
MCU really don't really give a fuck.
but Vulture exists in the actual MCU universe, whereas like Venom and Morbius exist in like the Sony MCU universe. It's too
Does
and he,
Vulture exist in the MCU like proper?
yeah, because Spider-Man is in the MCU.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah. So yeah, it all depends. Is like doesn't make sense because Morbius wouldn't be in that universe unless he
Exactly.
is.
Well, then he's not because in the trailer he's like, I'm Venom, which means he's in Venom's universe.
Yeah, but
So like,
there is a poster of Spider-Man in the trailer that says murderer.
who the fuck knows? I don't know. I feel like
Guess we're gonna have
Sony's
to wait
trying
and
so
see.
hard to like be like we're part of it too, and Marvel's kind of like, kind of like,
They're like the little brother. Like mom said, it's my turn on the
yeah,
Xbox, and it's like
exactly.
Marvel's like, shut up, Sony.
They just got what they wanted. They got Spider
Yeah.
Man. They're just like,
Kind of related. I had a cool idea of how they could have worked Venom in to No Way Home better. Thanks for the fart, Dev. I appreciate it. He does the fart emote thing. Anyway, when like the Venom was just kind of like in it for a second. And it was
yeah,
just dumb end credit. Well, it wouldn't it be cool if like during the apartment scene, and this would be kind of a cool way to introduce the other Spider-Man as well. Like Tom's getting his ass kicked, and Ned and what's her face are there, and Ned's like, "Oh, we got to get Strange back to help Spider-Man," and he's just like, or to help Peter, and he's like doing the fucking thing, and he's like, "All right, we need Strange, and he's like opening up a portal, and he opens one up, and it's just a silhouette, and like as the light hits the portal, you just see it's Venom's back, and he turns around and his tongue's out, and he's got a guy like by the throat gonna eat him. And then he's like, "That's not Strange," and he closes the portal, and he's just like frantically trying to open portals to get Strange back. And then it cuts to what's his face, Goblin, like beating the shit at Tom Holland. And then he just like does this double arm pound thing, and then two webs hit his arms, and then holds him back. And then the other two Spider-Men come swinging in. Like I feel like it's unrelated, but I feel like that's cool.
Are you saying you would have done that over
Them stepping out of a portal in an apartment complex? Yeah, 100%.
I saw, yeah, I saw something. I think like kind of funny posted like their reaction to that, and someone was like, no, it was perfect because that's who Tobey Maguire is. The just like hi, like the nerdy like, and I was like, I guess that makes sense, but it
Both
was
of them
kind of
did it.
anticlimactic.
Yeah. I'm just saying you could like I was just randomly daydreaming about it. I'm like, man, that would have been way cooler. I wish my brain wouldn't do that because it sets my expectations for things too high.
So, and then wrapping up with our MCU, we have Moon Knight is said to be somewhat disconnected from the MCU, which I guess kind
Which
of
is
makes
so
sense.
disappointing though, because that's like the one thing that and Doctor Strange are the like MCU things that I'm really, really looking forward to.
Well, I think
Mhm.
the only reason that why Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke agreed to do it was because it's like somewhat connected. Um, so here is Oscar Isaac commenting on that. For me, my favorite Marvel film is still the first Iron Man. You know, it's the one that feels like it's breaking through in some way, and it has such an incredible performance. Where Downey comes in and just owns every minute of it on screen. It also feels quite adult, and it's messy because it's the first one, you know. So I like that a lot. Moon Knight was a similar approach where we're building this thing from the ground up. It's still in the universe, but that's not part of the plot. That's not part of the story. It rests on its
Oh,
own
okay.
terms, and it's really an internal exploration of this person. So this person is not connected to any of his reality in this happening. It's part of his problem, whether it's Marvel or not. So it really just tries to get into the skin of this guy, which
Yeah, so it's
I
not
can
like
appreciate.
yeah, it's not like you're gonna halfway through Moon Knight, you're gonna get like Hawkeye being like, "Who's this guy?" And it's just some like
Yeah.
phoned in connection just to have it phoned in.
Which I kind of like, and I kind of like that he said that he's comparing it to the first Iron Man, where it's like it's just this guy on screen. We're not getting like, I'm sure maybe we'll get like us, some cameos, maybe not a cameo, but some like Easter eggs here and there.
Yeah.
And I also like how he said it feels quite adult because
Do the like let
I
the adult stuff on Disney Plus kind of live on the side. So like him and
yeah.
Blade and like any other adult-ish Disney Plus stuff. Like let them kind of interact more and then like throw them into the occasional like at a team up movie like as like a whoa holy shit moment. Because like Moon Knight and Blade
Well, they tried that with the
together.
Defenders. It didn't really work very well, but yeah, I agree. They could try it again and
Oh yeah, I think
succeed.
it'll work a little better than that. I thought you meant they put the Defenders in a team up movie.
Well, they
No, I
are.
meant
They're a
like
team up
no, no,
show.
no. I meant like put them in a movie, like the next whatever the next Avengers are, or like the next team up,
Have them
like
show up.
have them show up. But like Moon Knight and Blade would work well together in their own little thing.
Yeah, they could do
But
like a
it's like
Marvel Knights type deal where it's like
yeah,
all
yeah,
the
yeah,
the
exactly.
adult characters, Ghost Rider, Daredevil,
Punisher, get Punisher back.
Punisher. Yeah. I don't know. They
You don't
they
like
review. No,
Bernthal as
Well,
Punisher?
I do. I love John Bernthal and I love the Punisher. And the Punisher was like one of my favorite Marvel characters for so long, but fucking everyone ruined it. They ruined him and his fucking logo. Because now
Fuck it,
everywhere I
let him
go, there's some fucking
give him a new
bigot with a
logo.
Punisher logo
He's
on
got a
their
new
truck.
he's got a new logo. Let just do that new
Yeah, and
logo
his
and
new
then
logo is like, I guess it's fine. I'm
but
just
then the
mad.
first
I'm just
episode
mad
have
about the
him just
character.
like beat the shit out of some white supremacists. Like really cement
That's true.
that
Really
he's
cement
like
that in.
yeah, just look dead into the camera and
Punishers,
just beat the shit out of white supremacists.
the Punishers marching in Black Lives Matter rallies.
Fuck it, do it. Really ham it up, like on the nose. Like just have like a like I don't know, like all ally stickers on the back of his bulletproof vest
I
as he
mean,
goes and beats
that'll
up
get people
Nazis.
to tear his
Yeah, they're
his
gonna be like there'll be all
his
those videos.
logo off of everything. Yeah,
There'll be those videos of all them burning it in like a fucking
burning
barrel
their
fire, like
Punisher
they did
gear.
with like car just right next to the ashes of their Carhartts and their Kaepernick jerseys. They'll be their Punisher paraphernalia.
Okay. With that, I mean, normally we talk about what we're playing, but I don't know if we need to jump into that.
Nah, no, it's the same thing. Oh, wait,
Yeah,
you're playing
I
Arkham.
am playing. I have maybe one or two more streams left until I beat Arkham. I love playing games that are like 15 to 20 hours because they only last like 5 streams as opposed to fucking Mass Effect that it lasts like 20 streams. I'm almost done. Although it's so buggy on PC, it's crashed on me probably like 7 times since I've
Yeah,
started.
it's not great. I
Um,
remember I played it.
but outside of that, I'm having fun with it. But that's it. I'm still playing Elden Ring 2 like at my leisure. It's
Yeah, I'll be playing Tiny
a
Tina's
lot.
with Steve this weekend ish, Thursday or Friday. I forgot when it came out, but when it comes out. But
All right, topic of the show. This is gonna be a long one because we're already
yeah,
an hour in.
yeah, we can not ruminate on. I don't think this one is as difficult. Um,
That's true. Well, I don't know. The 2000s I think is gonna be difficult.
I,
2010s maybe not.
I don't think so. I don't
Okay.
think the 2000s is as difficult as.
Are we gonna bring in our moderator,
Oh yeah,
Mr.
yeah, yeah.
Steve
Steve, you
Berkner,
still in chat?
so that
Let me see if I'll text him. Hold on.
if we get a tie, we're gonna need him.
Hey, there he is.
Yeah, oh shit. It's lagging.
Hello.
What's up, Steve?
Hey, lagging to mute this so there's no echo. Alrighty.
All right, so now we have an uneven 3. So now there can't possibly be a tie between these. Scott, let me know when you have that bracket up.
It is already up.
It is up. All right, going to the reactions. Okay.
This is the 2000s. I seeded them as best as I could.
Might need to make it just a smidge bigger. I can do it on my
Yeah,
screen. Hold on.
I got it.
Okay, never mind. That works too. Perfect.
All righty.
All right, so the seedings. We have, let's see, Master Chief at 1. Where's 2? Why can't I find 2?
Down bottom opposite corner.
Oh, okay. That 2 looks weird. It looks like a 9. Master Chief at 1. Kratos at 2. 3 is
Marcus Phoenix.
4 is
Commander Shepard.
Okay. 5
is Ratchet.
That might need to move. 6
Nathan Drake.
7
Tommy Vercetti.
8
Sam Fisher.
Sam Fisher. 9
Ezio.
Okay. 10
Dante.
I think I have these out on an actual sheet. Let me take a look.
I don't. They weren't numbered as reliably as the other decades were. I moved these around a piece.
10, you put Dante.
Yep, and then 11 is Sly.
Okay.
Then 12 is Agent 47. 13 is Max Payne. 14 is Sora. 15 is Jack, and 16 is Sackboy.
Oh God, Sackboy! I forgot he's in this. Okay.
He's gonna get obliterated.
We got rid of Sly Cooper. Oh no, you did say Sly.
Yes, I said Sly.
I would change. I don't know if I put Ratchet that high.
Really? He had a ton of games, and he's like one of Sony's mascots.
All right, let's leave it. Marcus Phoenix is real high too. He did.
He's Xbox's mascot.
No, Master Chief is Xbox's mascot.
Yeah, and then right under him, hugging his leg, Princess Leia style, is Marcus Phoenix.
Okay.
It was a console mover.
All right, let's get into. All right, so this is the no-brainer: Master Chief versus Sackboy.
Master Chief.
Does anyone think Sackboy stands a fucking chance?
Unless Steve Berkner has an alternate take.
They haven't made a Little Big Planet in years.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's like a dead IP, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. That's not to be confused with the Black Eyed Peas. Is the Dead Eyed Peas. Number 2, Kratos versus Jack. A bit of a tougher.
Let's just
decision.
go straight down like we did last time.
Oh, straight down? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought we went across, but maybe we didn't. I don't know.
I don't think we did.
Okay.
Ratchet versus Agent 47.
They both have new games, but I think Ratchet's way more iconic, and I think his games
so?
his games are more have a lower barrier of entry. So I think more people
before we
play
move
them.
on, I have to say something because my friend was very upset that Mario lost last week. So last week we had Mario versus Link in our finals, and he thinks we should even revisit it, but I don't think we will. But
wait, who is this? Was this
Pete
Murphy?
Sully?
Oh, okay.
But he said that, and he made a good point that Mario is in every type of game because he's in Mario Kart. He has Mario.
That was Link.
Not real. Yeah, Link's in Mario Kart, but he doesn't have like Mario Soccer. He doesn't have Mario Tennis. He doesn't have Mario Party. He doesn't like. They all spawn from him, which I'm like, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Quantity over quality, though.
Scython, what's going on?
Talking about?
Yeah,
is that what we're talking about.
And I'm kind of like, I was on the fence, and I did wind up going with Link because of what we had said. But after talking with him, I'm like, yeah, I can.
It was a tough one.
It is a really tough one, and I could definitely see choosing Mario.
But well, maybe next time Pete Sully should have come on the show and then made the argument.
So, anyway, that out of the way. Moving on to Ratchet versus Agent 47.
So what I was saying is Ratchet, his games have a lower barrier of entry, so more people have played them, I believe. The Hitman series is kind of like a niche thing.
Okay, but I don't know anything about either of the characters, so I don't know.
Agent 47 is kind of just like the nameless assassin. Ratchet's got a little bit more character. Also, Hitman has had some really shitty movies.
Yeah, that doesn't. Whatever. Ratchet and Clank had a movie that was like okay, didn't it?
Yeah, but it was better than the Hitman movie.
Yeah, didn't like Yui Boll direct those movies? He's a terrible director.
No, I don't think he did.
I thought he did.
Someone else did.
In a real fight, Agent 47 would probably win.
I don't know. Ratchet's got a lot of wild ass weapons.
Think so?
Yeah, you hit him with like an anti-gravity gun. Yeah.
That's true. I did hear the last one was good. I don't know. I would probably pick Agent 47, but that's just also because I
I
don't
would
really
pick
know
Ratchet.
about
So
these characters.
moderator.
Yeah, I'm going with Ratchet. Just the bigger, more iconic games on like PlayStation exclusives, and the last two were good. I mean, I could vouch for the second to last one, but not the last one because I can't get a fucking PS5.
Scython says the
Welcome to
Agent 47 movie was an acid trip.
I don't know if that's a positive or a negative. But
All right, so Ratchet's going to beat out Agent 47.
Tommy Vercetti versus Dante. I think this is our first like legitimate, like the top seed can get.
I'm
yeah,
trying to
'cause,
be
like,
objective here, and I've never played a Devil May Cry. And I've played.
there's more of them, and Dante is in them.
And
Dante
Tommy
was also
Vercetti is only in Vice City.
Yeah. And Dante was in like PlayStation All Stars, and like he's just, I think, more of an iconic character because Tommy Vercetti's just the one guy. He's in a great game, but I think Dante is just more of a like iconic, recognizable, has more of a library behind him.
100% agree with you on that one. I think.
Okay.
But I don't know if that makes him win. We're not going just based on icon.
No, I know, but I said more than just iconic. I said a whole other bunch of words there.
I'd probably pick Dante. I'm just trying to create a conversation.
I was gonna say I know I've obviously heard of GTA Vice City, but I honestly did not know the guy's fucking name. I had to Google it.
Look at all these names on this list, like Commander Shepard.
I also feel like if you weren't around for GTA Vice City, like if you're like on the younger side, like you have no idea who Tommy Vercetti is. But I feel like everyone.
Well, I was around. I just didn't get to play it because I don't think my parents would have let me. But I did play it at other people's houses for like a little bit.
What a bad boy!
Oh my god, I'm out. I'm
The
gone.
bad boy Berkner.
I'm gonna just vote against you for now.
Is this another upset? Marcus Phoenix versus Sora? Because
Sora is definitely no. I can hear you. I'm thinking. Sora, I think, is definitely more recognizable, especially in today's world, than Marcus Phoenix, because.
But Marcus Phoenix was the reason 360s sold.
Yes.
Like, Gears of War fucking moved consoles.
Yeah, it did. And Gears of War 1, 2, and 3 are good. I didn't play 4 or 5.
I think he's got more of a widespread mainstream appeal than Sora. At
Also,
least
you can
in
the
the
story in
States.
Gears of War.
Yeah.
Bugs attack.
Kill the bugs.
And this is tough because I've played the original trilogy of Gears of War, and I haven't played a single game. So it's like it's hard for me to not be biased.
And the two guys in chat are split.
I haven't played any of the Kingdom Hearts.
Dev says Sora.
246/3.
Of course, Dev is going to say Sora. It's his favorite game.
Yeah, Dev says Sora. Lord says Marcus 100%. So, I mean, I'm throwing my head in for Marcus.
What do you think? You think Marcus Phoenix or Sora? It's gonna take a minute for him to go through. Steve, give us your opinion.
I mean, I think the Kingdom Hearts games have a bigger cult following, but the Gears of War games were just bigger and more culturally relevant.
Yeah, Gears and Halo made the 360. The 360 was like an iconic console generation, and it was like on the back of Chief and Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm also a little biased just because Kingdom Hearts, it's like a game that looks kind of cool, and I'm intrigued. But then every time I try and figure out what the story is and like what games to start with, I just get mad, and I'm just like, I don't.
Well, Kingdom Hearts made more because it had more games, Dev.
No, it didn't. Gears of War definitely has more games. Gears of War has Gears 1 through 5 and
Kingdom Hearts has like all of the re-releases.
Oh, and that and the Baird one or whatever it was.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. How many? Let's see.
I think Gears had like the tactical games too. Like those. There's some turn-based Gears games.
Yeah, Gears. Gears has 1 through 5, so that's 5 games right off the bat.
It has 13. Kingdom Hearts has 13 games.
Oh damn! I didn't know it had that many games. Scython says Sora. He can dodge lightning point blank and defeated Hercules.
There's 6 installments of Gears of War and 13 of Kingdom Hearts.
So we got
Yeah, but Dev, it's not strictly about popularity. It's like iconography, popularity. Like, there's more nuance of like how influential they are. Because like Kingdom Hearts, if you break it down, it's a game series that has done well, but like it didn't influence genres of games that like over the shoulder, like big chunky, like cover based third person shooter game started with Gears of War and then was tried. It got duplicated, but never to the, you know, the greatness of the first Gears and second. So it's like I think Gears of War influenced the gaming industry because like you could play games that are like Gears, but it's like do you play games that are like Kingdom Hearts? They're just, you know, third person
I
like
wouldn't know if
RPG light.
yeah, and again, I'm trying to be objective because I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game, but I don't know of any like did Kingdom Hearts raise the bar for its type of game because Gears of
Yeah,
War
because I think like
definitely
I don't,
did do that.
and it kind of made its own subgenre of that kind of game. Because like the only thing I can think of that's sort of like Kingdom Hearts is like Fable and like Kingdom of Amalur or something, whatever the hell that name is.
I think Fable's a lot slower pace than Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts.
but it's just got like that like assignable spells to the face buttons and like companion RPG kind of game. They said Kingdom Hearts is one of those the start of the crossovers Disney and Square Enix grew.
I mean that is true, but like that the whole popularity, the majority of the popularity in Kingdom Hearts came from a ton of Disney characters. Like it's almost
Also,
like the
Gears
Super
of War.
Smash of of Disney characters.
Gears of War had the co-op element of it, and it is also still an esport. Gears of War 5 is still esport played on like stages and tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, let's
Xbox
go.
always hosts it.
All right, let's move on. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say Marcus Phoenix.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry, Scython. Sorry, Dev.
Marcus team name.
Commander Shepard versus Max Payne.
Steve, this sucks for you, man.
I mean, I'm gonna go Commander Shepard.
Yeah.
It like by a long shot. As much as I love Max Payne and wish he would come back, he like his IP is dead, and I don't even know if we're ever gonna see a Max Payne game again. And Max Payne is he's a cop. Commander Shepard is like legitimately a commander.
Space cop.
Yeah, space cop and a Spectre. And I just think
And like you can control his like
and what
his
Mass Effect
character.
did for video games was way more than what Max Payne did. Although Max Payne I think was one of the
Bullet
first
time.
games to include bullet time, which often gets overlooked. But
Deb called us a bunch of dude bros for picking Marcus Phoenix over Sora.
Well, whatever.
Dev's clutching his keyblade somewhere.
He's so mad.
I'm clutching my Witcher sword, the superior sword. So Nathan Drake versus Sly. I think you gotta go Nathan Drake.
Gotta go Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
And again, it's the same thing of like Sly hasn't had a game in how long, you know?
And Nathan Drake just had a movie, so he's more iconic. Unfortunately, it was Tom Holland.
Yeah.
I heard the movie wasn't bad though. Like I heard it was like a fun movie from multiple people.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't want to see
it.
I just can't see
where like I'll watch it one day when I'm like hungover or sick or something, and it's on screen.
I can't see Mark Wahlberg as Sully.
He doesn't even have a mustache.
Hey, Nathan Drake, watch out for those climbable boxes over there.
Help me move this lock.
Yeah. Hey Nathan, I think that box is movable over there. How's your mother doing?
Say hi to your mother for me.
Say hi to your mother for me. Anyway, Sam Fisher versus Ezio.
Man, this is a stealth battle here.
Yeah, it's we're not gonna move these along because they're just never gonna find each other.
This is the slowest battle in the tournament right now. Sam Fisher versus Ezio.
I think the iconography of the night vision goggles is like pretty fucking iconic.
Oh, I don't know. Ezio Like, think of how
It is.
huge Assassin's Creed is, and that's because of the
Oh
Ezio
yeah,
trilogy.
yeah, 100%. Like the first one was good, but then the Ezio trilogy really like put the popularity under that game.
I
Neither
think
have been in a game in a while though.
they haven't, but
I mean, if you're thinking about like just a fight, it's Sam Fisher because he's got like weapons and shit,
so
like
does
ranged
Ezio.
weapons.
Well,
He doesn't have range.
Yeah,
He's
but
got
he
like
can.
a little.
But he's an assassin, you know. He's smoke bomb, like blend in with the crowd.
Yeah, but I think if you like 1,000-foot view of the two characters, I think Sam Fisher's like reach as far as like iconography goes is a little shorter than Ezio. But although I think Sam Fisher's way more recognizable because Ezio's just.
I disagree. I think
But
Ezio is.
he's just a guy in a hood, right? You like if you show me the dude from the first Assassin's Creed and Ezio,
Altair.
I'd have to Altair. I'd have to double do a double take. I'd be like, oh, wait, which one was Ezio? Ezio had the little red in his hood. He's like the Italian guy.
I mean, I can spot them immediately, but I also have played almost every Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, but like Sam Fisher's got the like that night vision with the box art's always really iconic. But you know, if you're going Ezio, I'm not going to twist your leg.
Scython said, obviously Sam Fisher wins because his footsteps are so light he leaves behind no footprints.
I think everybody's thinking about this as an actual fight.
I think Ezio did more for games. I think it's really, really close but I'm gonna go with that.
One's still a franchise and one isn't. So.
Yeah, but like Dev said in the chat, he said Ezio's not Assassin's Creed. Like there's other guys.
There's other guys. Yeah, but
and before we also move on from this bracket, there's one thing that I wanted to point out that's really annoyed me for so many years is that early in the Assassin's Creed games, the story outside of the Animus was
good.
like you're training to become an assassin in like more of the future area, and my brain was just like, oh shit, they could do Assassin's Creed fucking Sam Fisher crossover. Yeah, you just become like a fucking
Splinter Cell.
Yeah, Splinter Cell in the outside of the Animus. I was just like, this could happen, and then they just, I don't know.
No, they can make microtransactions and make money.
Yeah,
but I know Ezio isn't all of Assassin's Creed, but all of Assassin's Creed is still there because of the success of Ezio.
Yeah, that's what I think. And I thank you for bringing up the present day Assassin's Creed because that story, especially during Ezio's games, fan-fucking-tastic. And then they didn't know where to go with it, like after Ezio's games, and they were just like, and now it's like irrelevant. I don't think they've had a present day story in forever.
But Dev, Splinter Cell isn't a franchise anymore.
Yes, Splinter Cell is not a franchise. And when did the last Splinter Cell come out, actually? Because it probably came out around the time that Revelations came out.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a decent amount of time ago, but the jury's closed. Moving on.
2013, there was Splinter Cell Blacklist. And I think the last Assassin's Creed with Ezio was like 2009, 2008.
No, Altair was 2007.
2006, I think. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on.
Ezio.
Assassin's Creed Revelations was 2011. So we're two years apart. So they finished around the same time. So I think that's pretty relevant. And Assassin's Creed went on to be one of the biggest top-selling game franchises.
Whether you like the new direction or not, it's still a unit mover. So Kratos versus Jack.
Kratos.
Anybody
Jack
not pick?
And Daxter? Yeah, Kratos.
Yeah. No,
we had no upsets. We had 0 upsets in that first round.
Did we not?
Oh no, we had Dante beating Tommy Vercetti.
I don't think Tommy Vercetti should have been that high.
Definitely should not have been that high.
Okay, so Master Chief versus Ratchet. Is anybody gonna pick Ratchet?
No.
Master Chef.
It'll be Xbox boys on one side versus.
I think so.
Yeah. Really. This is what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to. Xbox.
I think Marcus. My argument for Marcus Phoenix still stands.
I agree with you.
He's like a console juggernaut. Dev immediately types in Dante. This is just piss Devin off.
Dev's gonna start answering the opposite of what he wants. So
That we pick it.
yeah.
The dude bro is strong. We got Master Chief and Marcus Phoenix.
Oh,
Commander
I hate this
Shepard.
one.
I
Dev,
think this
don't
one's
turn this
actually
around
easy.
into something fucking racially motivated. He said, "Wow, no love for Asians." That's
Oh,
all right.
boy.
Commander Shepard or Nathan Drake. I say Nathan Drake because he is a defined character, and Commander Shepard is kind of malleable. So, like, you can have Mass Effect without like Commander, because like Commander Shepard, he doesn't have an iconic look, right? You could change it.
Yeah, and
Nathan Drake is, those box arts, flying out of a plane.
I was thinking that too, actually, because I was thinking like Shepard could be male or female. You can change his actual appearance or her actual appearance.
Yeah.
The backstory of Commander Shepard can also be changed, although
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Uncharted actually might have done more for video games than Mass Effect has.
Yeah.
I'm personally more of an. I mean, I played all three of most of all three Mass Effects, but I've played every single Uncharted game over and over again.
Yeah, Uncharted is an easy game to go back and pick up. I feel like I've only played.
And they're just so good.
You put down Uncharted, not Nathan Drake.
Yeah, like you could play Mass Effect 1 like and be frustrated with it. Like Uncharted's just like a breeze, and they're so much fun.
Scott, you just put down Uncharted.
Yeah. Oh. We kept saying Uncharted.
Yeah, Dev makes a good point that the Uncharted series really
made
the games more cinematic, which you would think would make for a good movie, but then you can't cast Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg and
yes,
instantly make me not.
Okay, it wasn't a home run. It was like a solid double. If we're going baseball logic here.
All right,
Ezio or Kratos? Anybody not picking Blades of Chaos?
Gotta go Kratos. Sorry, Ezio.
Yep.
PlayStation
boys versus Xbox boys.
Oh shit! Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
We made our own console war. I didn't even mean to do that.
We did make our own console war.
Well, they were the two most popular consoles during this time that had newer, because I mean, like you could add the Nintendo peeps in this one too, because they were around, but it's not like they're. I guess you guys are going off their origin years. So
we're going origin.
Yeah, well, obviously this bracket is kind of just all Xbox versus.
Technically, we're going like origin year and or year of like their height of popularity, because Ken technically was in the 90s tournament, but Street Fighter 1 came out in 1987, but no one fucking played that game. And then
like you could have put Mario in here, but like because of Super Mario Galaxy and Sunshine and stuff, but it's like
of the 80s.
Yeah.
And technically Geralt should be in this one if that was going to be, but again, like The Witcher didn't really gain popularity until like 2 and 3. So, and Witcher 1 I think was only for PC. So that's why we have him in the 2010s.
Yeah.
So, I think this makes sense.
So Marcus Phoenix is first Master Chief.
I think it's got to be Master Chief.
It's got to be Master Chief. He's just like
the original versus
he's the OG.
And he's still around, and like Marcus Phoenix, as iconic as he is and what he did for games, I still just think you can't compare. Can't compete.
Halo revolutionized what a first-person shooter can be story-wise and multiplayer-wise. I think it's like
capitalizing on that.
Yeah, but this is the 2000s, and Halo Combat Evolved was like a force of nature.
Yeah, I was always more of a Half-Life person, but yeah, I agree.
Nathan Drake versus Kratos.
Kratos
is just so iconic.
Yeah, it's got to be Kratos.
He's the God of War.
But
like
as good as the God of War remake is, if you're pooling together all of the game, like all the Uncharted and all the God of Wars, does Uncharted have better games?
Ooh, that's
as
tough.
A whole.
Uncharted 2 is, I think, better than any of the prequel of any of the first God of Wars.
Yeah, I would say that too. I would even actually probably say
yeah.
Uncharted 3 might be up there too.
But I think God of War 2 and 3 are better than Uncharted 1.
Scython says he thinks I might be muted. Scython, I'm getting levels, so I don't know if I'm.
I hear it.
Sometimes your
coming through or
mic
not.
dips kind of low.
Yeah,
it-
it dips a little bit.
Yeah, let's see.
But like God of War,
How about now? Is that much better?
yes, a
Okay.
little loud, but God of War. I mean, they both made games very cinematic, but God of War had this incredible scale for the time. Like, remember climbing up the fucking giant
In
and,
God
like,
of War
ripping his
3.
and ripping his nails off, and you kill Zeus, and like the boss battles are what that game is known for, and they're all fantastic.
Yeah.
Like where you kill Mercury and he's like super fast, and then you get his boots, and like it's got that Mega Man where you get powers from the gods you kill.
That
and
is
it's
true.
Like, it's more engaging combat wise than like hide behind a box and shoot until you get to the next QuickTime event.
Hold on, give me
So,
just
like,
1 second, because apparently I'm having audio issues on.
you sound fine to me now.
I'm hearing you. No, I can hear myself. I don't know, Scython. I think it might be.
You were dipping in and out before, but
All
we're
right.
good now.
Yeah.
I agree with Dev when he says Uncharted 4 was the best.
Yeah.
Although Uncharted 2 was really good. I think 3 was
Three
the
is
only one
also
that was,
really
like,
good. I think 1 is the worst, but it's not a bad game.
But I
Sure,
loved that.
yeah.
I love that in Uncharted, it was like it always ended in like a little supernatural bit.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that was always fun to discover. But like, I don't know. I think the combat systems in God of War are just more engaging to me than just like,
Well, I think
third person shooting.
but the first like 3 God of Wars were kind of felt more button mashy than,
And they
at
could
least from
be,
what I remember.
but you could also play it more. They gave you more tools to play it how you wanted to play it.
God of War also had a sex game.
It did.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I honestly think the story is more engaging about the ghost of Sparta killing his family accidentally, and his greed led to his family's death, and like he's like has this like it's just this revenge story against the gods of Olympus. Like it's grand. It is very grand.
All right, yeah. Well, it's definitely Kratos, but I'm just wondering.
No, I get the argument for
who has the better games overall, and
I just want to.
it's tough because they both have really good games.
PlayStation 5 and replay all these goddamn games. Son of a bitch.
But Uncharted is fantastic. This was a tough one. Nathan Drake just lost by the skin of his thermal.
It's gonna be just as tough as this one.
Yeah.
Master Chief versus Kratos for the 2000s championship.
So let's go from an upper view, right? Let's recency bias. Their recent games, Kratos takes
100%.
Halo Infinite was
I think
just
that's
okay.
I still think that's probably the best game I've ever played
okay.
is God of War.
Yeah, God of War is my second favorite game of all time. It's just captivating from start to finish. And their ability to reinvent the franchise was insane.
I will say I think Master Chief though has more influence and has more I don't know. Is more
Halo
iconic.
Halo 2, 3, and Reach, I think, are better games than the God of War series.
Not the new one.
Not the new one, no. Maybe not even 3, God of War 3. I don't know. Halo 2 is like, including multiplayer, Halo 2 and 3 were just like such like seminal parts of my childhood.
Scython said Kratos was an asshole in the Greek setting. In the Norse setting, he's a decent person. Kind of. He's trying to be a better person. Definitely.
Character arc.
Yeah, and that's what I was just going to talk. That's a great segue because I was just going to say Master Chief is like kind of a dull character. Like
he's not a character.
He doesn't have any emotion, and that's like who he is. But he's like
they started giving him more of emotion.
That shit sucked.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna have to be Kratos because he has a great story.
Yeah, I think because with Halo 4 and 5, I think they really like kind of like chopped the character at the knees too. And it's like, I don't know. Master Chief is just like the nameless soldier. And Kratos is like this multi-layered, like revenge driven, but wanting to be a better person for his son type story, and it's just like more captivating from every angle to me.
Yeah, it's got to be Kratos.
All right.
Nice.
Good discussion. Good discussion. Now we get to move into the 2010s where the character's not as interesting.
Where the fuck is... You know what? I'm just going to move it. There we go. Wait, Kratos wins. Wait, go away. There we go. Kratos wins. Okay. We are going to the 2010s, who I have already picked a winner in my head. So good luck trying to dislodge me from
we all know who you picked.
From my stubborn mountain.
Well, we just need to so
do we need to do it anymore?
Yeah, I feel like the 2010s were more you're gonna have resistance for me.
Yeah.
There's
it's an Overwatch character.
So
no, not even that. You're looking at the wrong one, buddy.
Oh. Who am I looking at?
Number 1, Geralt.
Aloy?
Number 2, you put fucking Steve from Minecraft.
Yeah,
number 2?
Absolutely. It's the best-selling game of the decade.
But he's just kind of like a.
But is
nameless...
he even? Yeah, like does he
He's
have
on
a
the
story?
box art. He's like the face of it.
I mean, I guess I'm too old to know. So
Google Minecraft. It's Steve. You guys should be okay with that.
Is there a story for him?
It's characters, iconic characters. The story comes into play when we're deciding. But as far as iconic seeds, Steve. Who else would be there?
All right, fine. We're going with it, I guess. Who's 3? Joel and Elliot. Okay.
Joel and Elliot.
The combo,
I feel like you gotta lump them in. What?
The combo, huh?
Yeah, I feel like you gotta.
It's a Banjo-Kazooie types.
Yeah,
but
they're
more
like,
serious.
Yeah, their character is so heavily like dependent on the other. They're like, it's just like you gotta. The 4 is Tracer. 5 is Aloy.
Also high, but okay.
I mean, also the face of one of the best.
I would put Aloy over Tracer, but continue.
I mean, console exclusive characters are less iconic because less people play them.
We just made a console exclusive character the winner of our last bracket.
That's also true. But you can't compare Aloy and Master Chief. The Aloy is number 5. Cuphead is 6.
That's
Arthur.
Also, okay, keep going. I'll just keep my comments.
Who else? Fine. Go ahead. Rearrange
no,
them.
We're not going to rearrange them.
Okay.
Who's 7?
7 is Arthur Morgan. 8 is Booker DeWitt.
Arthur.
9 is Alan Wake. 10, I don't know. They were just left on the list. Max Caulfield. That you could put him lower, but I don't know who you swap in.
From Control, right?
No, Max Caulfield's Life is Strange.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Oh, Dev said Ethan from Resident Evil 7 and 8. So maybe, yeah, let's get rid of Max Caulfield. I don't know who they are.
Dev said who?
Ethan from Resident Evil 7 and 8.
Yeah, we could do that. That works.
So Ethan at 10. Shulk at 11 from Xenoblade.
From Xenoblade, yeah.
Dev, sorry, they're gonna get booted from first round. Jonesy from Fortnite at 12. Jesse Faden at 13 from Control.
That's Control.
Yeah. Super Meat Boy at 14. Corvo Otano from
from Dishonored.
And then 16 is Ori. I put them there because their company sucks.
Corvo is really low.
Yeah, because it's fucking Dishonored.
Have you played Dishonored? It's amazing.
Yeah, but it's also not a good selling game either.
Whatever. It's still a great game.
Yeah, Dev said Trevor from GTA 5.
I
mean,
I would put.
But he's got the Tommy Vercetti syndrome.
Yeah, no. That's but who's the guy? Who's the other guy? I don't even remember his name.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'd put him over Trevor.
Okay. Well, the list is locked in. We're already running late. Let's go with it. Franklin. No, the other
not Franklin.
Old
the
white
old
guy.
White guy who's basically Tommy Vercetti too.
Yeah.
Davey. I love that TikTok where he crashes the helicopter and then the cutscene starts.
My favorite TikToks are when they splice Soprano scenes into Skyrim. It's really great. I'll send you a couple. It's Michael. By
Number
the way.
1. So we're going with Ori, right?
Did you see what came out about Moon Studios? Microsoft refuses to publish their games because their work environment is so toxic.
Oh no, I did not see that.
Yeah, so
That's the people who make Ori?
yep.
Yeah, wow.
That's fun.
That's why I put them 16 because fuck them.
I didn't play the second one. The first one's good though.
Yeah, great games. Not it. Witcher 3 is the best RPG of all time.
All right, so Geralt.
That's just tough. Aloy versus Jonesy.
Fuck Jonesy. Give it to Aloy.
I know, but Fortnite is so big.
It is.
I didn't know that guy had a name.
Exactly. Thank you,
He's just
Steve.
The
he's
Fortnite
just
players
generic.
do. And there's a lot more Fortnite players than there are the two of you.
Fortnite players can lick my ass.
All right. I mean, it's two against one. I'm not gonna argue, but we can put Aloy here.
That's the weird thing about like this portion of the bracket is that there's a lot of these like games as a service, like no name. Like you don't have like an iconic character. You just have like a big game. Yeah, it's just weird.
It's like the product is the character, not the character.
Exactly. Which I kind of feel like does the character a disservice. So
Dev makes a good point. Should it be Arthur Morgan or John Marston?
I think Arthur Morgan's a better character.
Okay, that's fine with me.
I mean, I do like John Marston, but
I think either one of them bodies Ethan because
Did-
Ethan's a whiny bitch.
did you
I
beat
mean, I have.
Red Dead 2?
Not for me. No, I played it. It's really slow, and I just kind of like fell.
I mean,
out
it
of
does pick up. It's kind of like, yeah, you got to get a feel for it, and once you get a feel for it, it's an
Yeah.
amazing game. But it is definitely slow.
And the load times got me because I played it on console, so maybe I'll
Yeah.
get it for PC.
The
Yeah, the aiming also on console was just atrocious. Holy shit.
his story is so good, and it gets so. It's like, if in the end of the game when he kind of like realizes what he's doing like might not be right, and like he's a way better character in my opinion than
Okay.
and
you have more experience. I'm not
more
gonna-
memorable than John Marston, but I do like John Marston. But that's why I chose him. I feel like we couldn't put both of them in there.
Okay, I think he bodies Ethan.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Either way. Oh, Arthur. Okay. Joel and Ellie sack Super Meat Boy, I would assume.
Yep.
Super Meat Boy's just a little blob.
Yep.
Doesn't have any character to him.
Yep.
Unless he
He's
does.
like neat looking, but
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
he's
a
one of
fun
the more iconic indie characters that I remember
Yeah.
from like the last,
Both female cover art video game characters.
I have to look up Jesse Fadden though, because
I think
I know
you
the
have to. My only argument here, and I'm not going to win it, but you have to go searching for Tracer's backstory when you get it in the game.
I don't
with
know
Control.
anything about Control, but I feel like everyone that has talked to that's played it says that it's amazing.
Yeah, it is very good.
So I would probably
Joel
put
and
her-
Ellie are together because their story is so like closely linked that it's hard to just divorce them into individual characters. But yeah, like you gotta kind of actively look for Tracer's story. Is all I'm saying.
I would go Jesse Faden.
What you can make your argument, Steve. I mean, like
just Tracer as a character is like, I know, like you show people Tracer, they're gonna know what game that's from and what that character is.
That is true.
I didn't even know, like I know Control was a game. I didn't know who Jesse Fadden is. I probably
well,
didn't play it,
what her power, what her ability kit is. I mean, you played the game for 6 years, right? You look at Tracer, and it's like, let's say you play the games, you put 10 hours into both games, and you sit someone down.
Overwatch isn't a story game, so you can't be like, well, there's no story here. It's like,
Well, yeah, no, but it's part of it.
there's no way.
To be
Smart.
honest,
You learn to-
I don't even know if I would have put Tracer in this bracket.
You learn who a character is via their story. So you know bits from Tracer's voice lines and stuff, but you got to look. You got to go out of your way
I mean, to me,
figure out who Tracer, who get to the heart of the character.
To me, Tracer is the same type of character that Jonesy is.
Well, she actually has, there's actually lore to Overwatch. It's just not presented in the first
there
game.
is, but like it's more of I get what you're saying. There's lore to Fortnite too. I don't fucking know what it is, but there is.
That's true.
No, there can't be.
There is.
There is. there's
I've played Fortnite. It's not like Jonesy's like, hey, I'm Jonesy. Like,
well,
look,
it comes out
look,
in it comes out in trailers, which the same. That's how Overwatch does it. They do those little lore books and trailers and stuff.
It's like they got the in-game events with like the origins and like I mean, they stopped doing it because they split the fucking dev shit.
Yeah.
I still think like just Tracer as like an icon is more like recognizable to people, but
Yeah, I agree. If we're doing strictly iconic,
I could
just
be
based off,
I could be swayed
just based
because
off
to be perfectly honest, I didn't even know what her name was either. I'm strictly going with
Okay.
her because I know that she at least has a story and that controls a story-based game.
yeah. Wait, so who you're going with? Tracer or Jesse?
I'm indifferent.
Okay, let's go Tracer for now. Cuphead and Shulk. I don't even know who Shulk is, but I know who Cuphead is. Any disagreements?
I would probably go Shulk actually.
Did you play Xenoblade?
No, but I know it's an RPG with like a lot of story and he has backstory and
Yeah.
he's very popular in Japan.
Okay.
And Cuphead,
Very good.
like as much as I love Cuphead,
Yeah, there's no.
Cuphead.
Ooh, Booker DeWitt versus Alan Wake.
This is a
Both
tough
kind
one,
of-
actually.
Both kind of like similar. Not, I wouldn't say story, but like similar. It's like a dystopian kind of spooky world that they live in. Their own version of it, but still.
I'd never
I
played
haven't
Alan
played-
Wake.
I haven't played much of it, but their characters are very similar. Like from what I felt. So like they're both kind of like whiny protagonists.
Booker DeWitt doesn't
like-
speak.
yeah, he's just more of a active viewer.
I'm thinking of the one from the third one.
Yeah, BioShock.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Infinite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's who he is.
Infinite. He doesn't.
He
Yeah, he
doesn't
doesn't say
speak.
shh. He's
Wait.
more like he make decisions in the game, but like he never says anything.
Are you sure Booker definitely speaks?
Nope.
Hold on.
I'm pretty sure.
I am
he
like
doesn't.
99% positive that he does not.
It's
speak
mostly
a single
Elizabeth.
I
word.
thought he speaks throughout the whole game.
No, Elizabeth speaks to you.
And so do those like creepy time traveling like paradox people. that
Yeah,
are,
Devin
like,
said Booker speaks.
Oh yeah, no wait, he does. He does have
He
conversations with, but I don't remember him being.
Like,
Really?
remember, he screams Elizabeth all the time.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, he definitely speaks.
Wow, that's some Mandela effect.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't
But I
think
don't
the
feel like
guy in the
he's-
I
first
thought he was
two.
a silent protagonist. To be
The
perfectly
first
honest.
two aren't the first two silent?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Well, because you're
Or-
the big daddy in the second one, and you don't talk in the first one.
Yes.
Yeah, Booker
Correct.
DeWitt definitely speaks. He does speak a lot. Yeah, okay, I'm remembering that correctly.
I can't tell him my ass. All right, look, Dev. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like what he fights and like he has like voice lines when you fight and shit.
Wow, I don't. I just remember the ending blowing my mind. That's what I remember.
Yeah, the
most
ending
about that game.
blew everyone's mind.
Yeah.
I still like people disagree with me, but that's my favorite of the trilogy.
right.
Anyway,
I'm going Booker DeWitt,
no.
even
Oh,
though
I
you guys.
was-
don't
I was
remember.
gonna go with Alan Wake simply because I forgot about like how forgettable Booker DeWitt is.
Okay, I guess you made your own choice. Okay, we'll go. We'll go Alan Wake just for that fact. Steve or Corvo Tano.
Corvo, 100%.
I don't care. I
Corvo-
don't.
Wait a second. I think because now that I think about it more, I feel like Steve has to. But also,
think-
Corvo Atano sounds like a fucking Star Wars character.
Yeah.
Glip Schlorback is here with Corvo Atano, and oh shit, this is gonna pop off.
Okay.
I
yeah.
mean,
You know what?
iconic. It's definitely Steve, but come on, really?
Nobody knows who Corvo Tano
Oh,
is, Steve.
God. All right.
Yeah, which game did we say?
The lack of love for Dishonored in this
Oh.
stream here.
Yeah. Well, you could be
It was
dishonored.
one of those
about
games that look cool, but I just never got around to
it.
playing.
I don't like stealth
20.
games. I can't do it.
I move on to round two.
Geralt versus Aloy. You know my choice.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I'm
I don't think there's
I'm
a.
trying to find an argument for.
I don't think
Aloy.
there's a convincing argument. Geralt as a character is so goddamn layered.
What?
Aloy is too, but not. I mean, you can't you've never played it, so you have no idea.
Wait, Steve never played.
Witcher.
I've never played Witcher.
Oh.
I've played Horizon.
Oh, okay. I thought you. Okay.
And like Aloy is quite possibly one of the greatest female characters of all time. I would
There's
think.
plenty of great female characters in The Witcher.
Stop.
There is.
Yeah.
There 100% is. Yennefer is just as good as Aloy, and I'll die on that hill.
Okay, but which one came out on PlayStation early on to help sell the console? Like, I don't know.
Also true.
I feel like
Geralt won
Witcher just
Geralt won
got
200 or Geralt. Witcher 3 won 250 Game of the Year awards.
okay. That's like saying that like your local pizza shop is the best pizza in the world. Any random person could say.
I mean, they're all publications. That game was like unanimously Game of the Year. What was Game of the Year? Aloy got stomped out in both
By
games.
Breath of the Wild, yeah,
And Elden
Ring, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like those games are like. It's not like they're like her games were bad. It's just that like these like two ultra also iconic games like came out at like literally the same time. Like there's a lot that happens
Also true.
like that. I just
And The Witcher has a Netflix series. And The Witcher is a far better RPG.
Well, it's not
Yes,
supposed to
no.
be an RPG. It's more like an action RPG.
Yeah, so is The Witcher.
I guess.
I'm just saying.
two
the story in
different,
The
two
Witcher-
different. Yeah, but two different game styles.
Yeah, I guess. You didn't even play it though. You didn't play
I
The
know,
Witcher.
but I know how it works. I know how the mechanics work.
I mean, which is
Yeah,
just
but I
more
mean, you're
RPG
essentially
than action, and then
you're essentially hunting monsters and trying to.
but hunting monsters.
Hear me out.
Horizon. was
Robot
more fun.
dinosaurs.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my god! If you're going to talk about enemy variety, I will open up the Witcher BC area I have sitting next to me, and I'll read you off all of the fucking great, awesome, cool monsters that they have in The Witcher. It's like, oh look, a robot fucking chicken versus, an invisible vampire that only shows up when you're drunk. I think one is cooler.
Yeah,
than
the
the
one
other.
sounds way more annoying to fight because you can't just play the game and have fun with it. I just don't.
I mean, you stopped playing.
Yeah, because it
So
was like not like it's just not like the game part wasn't fun, and I don't care about like the super heavy RPG-ness of.
That's a personal choice.
I'm
just
kind of stuck in the middle, and I know I have to pick one of them. I am leaning Geralt, but I'm just trying to also make an argument for Aloy to make things fair.
I get it. It's not a like open and shut case. I can agree
Yeah.
that Aloy is an iconic character. I just think that Geralt is like Witcher 2 and Witcher 3 are just fantastic games of their time. Witcher 2 was the best RPG of the time in 2011, and Witcher 3 is just by and large the best RPG to come out in this generation. And that's like a widely agreed upon. It's just like,
But I feel like I never heard of those games like when they were out. It was like just recently, like a year or two after Witcher 3. It was just like, oh shit! Like everyone
the,
like kind of.
the year it came out, it was.
I'll be honest. When Witcher 3 came out, I didn't even know there was a Witcher 1 and 2.
Well, I mean, Witcher 3 was iconic enough then, because now you know it.
Of course, it got every game of the year. That's when I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Okay. But I think I will go. I think I'm gonna go Geralt.
Deb says Geralt as well.
Yeah.
He calls him the G-Man.
But I think it's close.
It is close. But it wasn't as open and shut. Joel. Oh, this one's tough.
Not really, because
I would go Joel
Red
Ellie.
Dead sucked.
Okay.
Yeah, Joel Ellie. Easy clap.
Their story is better than Arthur Morgan. It definitely pulls in the heartstrings more than Arthur Morgan, even though Arthur Morgan is a fantastic character, and I love that game.
Okay, Tracer versus Shulk.
Oh, God, this bracket is terrible. This sub bracket is awful.
Yeah, not great.
This side's kind of not great. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say Tracer.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I
don't
mean,
know enough about the
I would go Shulk,
Xenoblade stuff.
but
Shulk,
go
it's like
ahead.
I think the first time I heard about him was like when they added him to
In
Smash.
Super
I was
Smash,
like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. He looks cool.
I think it was a
I-
Japanese only game, and that's
Yeah.
why. And then the second one came out in America. But I would ever put.
Well, I'm
Treasure
sorry. This podcast is in America.
Deb said Cuphead should have won. the one weeb game we pick. It's like, nah, I don't think that should have won.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Alright,
I mean,
so
I can agree.
I'm
I
going.
can agree with him on that. But yeah, Tracer would have
going.
won anyway. So Tracer would have been this spot.
Alan Wake versus Steve.
I guess
Steve from
fucking
Minecraft.
Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to just do the right side first? Because it's going to be a less compelling argument.
I'm gonna go Steve from Minecraft. This side is awful.
Yeah, I'll let the children have it with Steve.
Okay.
For the children.
I'll check my biases at the door and just.
Argue amongst yourselves. You know my answer.
I'm not. I'm on firmly on the Joel Ellie side.
I think
yeah.
I think I'm leaning Joel Ellie also.
110%.
Sorry.
Like, iconic.
Who's dead?
Both.
One of them's dead.
It doesn't matter.
Spoilers, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
that
game's been out long enough.
And both games won Game of the Year. The Witcher 2 did not win Game of the Year. Again, I didn't know about the Witcher franchise until The Witcher 3. Geralt is a fantastic character, though.
Geralt and Ciri is the same story.
But Joel and Ellie they're getting a Netflix show too.
They don't have it yet. So Witcher is a better show by default.
Who is a better character? I'm sorry, I just think Joel. I don't know. I haven't played The Witcher,
Hear me
but
out.
I think Joel and Ellie are better characters.
Hear me out, and this is going to be a compelling argument.
No.
Yeah, it is. Geralt stands on his own. You need Joel and Ellie together. They don't stand as individual characters.
Don't need Joel.
Yeah, you do.
Joel is a fucking dynamic. But I mean, yeah, their shit's together, but like, no.
Yeah, it is iconic character, not characters.
But you play as Joel the entire game. Ellie's not even like with you for part of it.
Well, you play as Ellie for all of 2.
Well, yeah, and you play as well as Ellie for the next one. But like, I mean, I would still like just the first Last of Us, like, still Joel. Like,
I mean, I would argue that Ellie's a better character than Joel.
Well, yeah, I could.
But if we're together, like, I think both of them combined,
Well, yeah, I don't know why you combined them in the first place. It would make it a lot easier.
Individually, and they don't stand up to Geralt.
Yeah, they do, but
they don't.
They don't. I don't know. If
There's
we
way
went
more,
Ellie, I might go Ellie.
There's way more personal struggle as a Witcher who's like basically medically induced into not feeling anything, but having like such strong feelings for the ones he loves that it's like fighting the nature of being a Witcher. It's a deeper story character-wise to watch a man struggle with who he's supposed to be.
Dead daughter that now has someone else come into his life who he then struggles with to not try and have her replace. Like, he pushes her away because he sees too much of his daughter in her, and he doesn't want to.
You could easily change some of those words and have it be the exact story of Geralt and Ciri.
And I still don't care.
But then he could have cured the whole disease, but couldn't give her up, and that was the whole like ending. And just because he couldn't lose what he once had, and I think it's a fantastic story. I think the story Jesus, I almost said Mass Effect because I talk about it all the time.
I can't give away one of the endings because you didn't play it, but he gives up the entire world gets destroyed.
Yeah, in one of the endings, but it could be a different one.
It can be. It can be. You can go ahead. You could be, a Witcher pair. She can go and take her father's throne, or the world ends because Geralt can't part with his personal feelings for Siri.
I'm going with Joel and Ellie. Sorry, Scott.
Yeah, I'm on Team Joel Ellie.
Katie!
You can't pull in a fourth party. You're overruled.
I don't agree. Who's a better character, Joel and Ellie from Last of Us or Geralt?
All right, let's just pick Steve and get this over with.
No. I will not. That's where I draw.
I think Joel and Ellie.
All right,
What did I put two?
Joel Ellie for the win of the 2000s.
I don't agree, but whatever.
Sorry, Scott.
It's just you guys haven't played it, so how do you make a realistic argument for
Which
it?
also goes to show
and was not compelled enough by any
how easily playable it is for
you can't talk about
The Last of Us 2.
By a game, nothing holds your attention.
You mean I've played like 20 hours of Elden Ring? There's no story there. You just
you know
run around like a fucking jackass with a sword.
You know what held his attention? Both Last of Us.
Yeah. I fucking powered through both of those games. Cried some more. I think The Last of Us was one of the probably the only game that ever brought me to fucking tears. And both of them too.
They're just that PlayStation exclusive third party game. You know, they just play like that.
You mean?
Yeah, that's what I said. Did I say first person?
You said third party.
Oh yeah, third person. Like the games themselves are not good. The gameplay of them.
Oh, I completely disagree with you on that one.
Wrong.
The gameplay in Last of Us is incredible.
What are you talking about?
The AI is incredible.
It's like a cover survival stealth. Like,
when was the last time you played The Last of Us?
I don't know, whenever the remaster came out. It plays like Tomb Raider.
No, it doesn't.
What?
It does. It's just a generic third-person like stealth action.
Scott's just salty now because Geralt lost.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm just you watch any review? Do you ever watch Skill Up's review of The Last of Us 2?
No,
I don't know who that is.
Same.
He's a prominent reviewer on YouTube. He says the same thing. Gameplay of 2 is just okay.
So you could.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I think we've been going for
weren't good and didn't know what they were talking about, but
he's probably just mad because someone died, and it pissed him off, just like the majority of people who played 2, even though 2 is amazing.
Was so whiny about 2.
I know.
And I didn't get to play it like right away. It was like a week later, and I was like, yeah, I sort of get it, but like at the same time, no, like that needed to happen. Like I don't think it was a bad choice to have that. Like
100% agree. And I like Abby as a character too, and everyone's like, "Oh, she sucks." They just
yeah, for real.
They just don't like her because she killed someone, and like.
Yeah, and then
but
they have
it's justified.
to like. Yeah, because she killed like the one person that they had more. Fuck, what was it? Shit, more emotional attachment to. But identically, there's like hers and Ellie's story were like very similar, and it's just you just
100%.
saw from the one story, and that was the whole point of the second game.
Yeah, people are they like to complain.
Witcher 3 has the same Metacritic score and a way higher user score. Just saying.
I don't care.
Then Mass Effect 1, or then Last of Us 1?
Then why don't we just do all?
Yeah, but look at Last of Us 1. Because I bet you Last of Us 1 has a higher one. All right, I guess we'll take a look at remastered, whatever. Remastered, user score 9.2.
By 0.2.
Huh?
By 0.2.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you gotta include the second one in there.
Okay. Anyway, this has been a great show. We went for 2 hours.
Yeah, we did. And we came up with the wrong choice.
Next week.
Yeah, with the wrong choice.
Next week we'll be finishing up with the final 4. Guys, any closing comments?
The wrong person one.
You should have known this was going to happen if you had me as your moderator, because you should have stacked the deck in your favor and found someone else to be.
I'm just voting against Joel and Ellie the rest of the tournament.
Of course you will.
Oh wait, what were the other? Wait, let's go back.
Pikachu, Link, Joel, Ellie, and Steve.
Not Steve.
Oh yeah, Joel, Ellie, and whoever the fuck won, Kratos.
Well, yeah,
That's
that's
a
a tough ask for Joel Elliott, but I wouldn't even probably vote for them. Well, maybe. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, because it's like I feel like it's just not to spoil anything, but it's gonna be down to like Pikachu and Link.
Well, they
It's
might be
kind
on
of
the
hard
same
when you
side.
like have to do like these characters that have like decades of
Experience.
again, not to next week's fucking
Yeah.
argument, but like decades of stuff versus like one decade, not even. But
Yeah, join us next week when we'll have a different moderator.
All right,
guys, if I'm dead, please send. You know what happened.
Yeah, next time you need a spot off bench press, I'm just gonna let the weight crush you.
Oh,
Be like, call
finally.
Joel and Ellie.
with that, I'm playing the outro music.
Later.
I'll see you guys. We'll
Bye,
see you guys
y'all.
next week.
A bunch of bitches for that.
Aw.